to see the Rumsies.
Yeah.
Well, you should go watch their interview that we did then.
I'll send it to you, Holly. Yeah. But in the meantime, yeah, we have a few a few folks that I know you know.
Yeah, that's good.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Who was that?
It's Jim Brake.
Jim Brake. That's what I was sitting here thinking was to answer their question was Mark Storm and Jim Brake. to see both of you would be amazing. Oh my gosh, Jim, how are you? What's going on in your world?
Doing really well. Terrific. How are you?
Good to see you, Jim.
I am well too. Thank you. Wow.
I think we got.
What work have you done in your life since I've seen you last?
After the commissary, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. When was that? 1980?
Holly was there from 80 to 84.
Yep, because it was 2 years after.
So, believe it or not, that was 45 years ago.
No.
That's insane. Wow. Yeah. It was 45
who's this guy?
ago.
Do you remember Cliff Thompson, maybe?
Oh, Cliff.
Hello.
This is too much. I'm going to get emotional. I love seeing you guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, Cliff, you used to make me laugh so hard.
So what you been up to the last 40 years?
What a question.
All kinds of stuff. Raising a big family and working in the school setting. That's basically been my life. Serving my church a lot. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How about you?
Oh, I've managed to, let's see, since Camp of the Woods, there's been a few things that have happened. No, I mean, I'm married, have 5 kids, and recently retired.
Beautiful. My husband and I had 5 kids as well. And
Awesome.
I miscarried the 6th one, so we almost had 6, but it wasn't God's plan. But yeah, we have a set of twins in there in the group of 5. So
Wow.
been a good life with everybody. So,
Yeah, it's funny how the kids can keep you busy even to this day, even though we're empty nesters.
Yes, they sure do. And our daughter's married, but one of our boys is getting married this summer, so we're looking forward to another wedding.
Okay, Cliff, you're in Florida, correct?
Yes.
I'm in the mountains of North Georgia.
I
was in Florida for a couple decades, practiced there, and then practiced for another decade plus up here, and now I have a farm up here in the Chattahoochee National Forest.
Okay.
Oh man.
Jim, where are we calling you from?
Connecticut.
Hey, Jim.
Okay.
Long time no
Cliff.
see.
Yep, that's true.
How's it going? Been lifting any number 10 cans lately?
Yeah.
Not by the box. I haven't been.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. When I talked
to
to Cliff the other day, he's like, Jimbo's going to be in. So, yeah.
It's funny. I haven't heard that name in several years, but all my college buddies and camp still call me that. I've had a variation of names through the years. So, yeah, but that was the 80s. I was Jimbo to most everybody.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
So, Holly, was your first summer 80 then? I was thinking it was, because mine was 79, but I was in the dish room. So commissary, my first year was 80 in the commissary.
Okay. Yeah. I believe it was 80 to 8 through 84. I think it was those years.
It was.
Okay.
I validated that through staff directories.
Because I kind of had the feeling that you were already established before I came to the commissary. It seemed like you had control, a leadership of those girls pretty established. So that's funny that you say that, because I always had the impression you were there before. And then Cliff, I think it was you, me, and Mark, because Mark was in the commissary before us. And Mitch, I remember Mitch was with Mark, I think.
That's right. Yeah.
And I don't remember who the third one was, but then I think for at least a year or two, it was the three of us. And then Cliff, you betrayed us and went to music staff. So
that's correct. Yep. The last 2 years.
He followed his calling to, yeah. Yeah.
Well, like a lot of people, they started out doing other things, hoping to get on music staff. And then, it finally happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
No grudges, Cliff. It's been 45 years. No grudges.
Yeah, I can tell.
Oh, you guys, it's a lot to wrap my head around, just looking at you and your faces and how we all changed through the years. But it all just comes rushing back. All of it, just seeing you is so lovely.
Right. I mean, we had some crazy times up there in that kitchen. We worked hard, but we had a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The dish room was crazy back in there. I never knew what you were going to walk into in the dish room. And one of my biggest blessings out of the whole counter girl situation was just getting to know the Purdy family, because they ate up there. And I babysat the kids from time to time when they were doing something. When Tracy was Miss Teen, they asked me to take her on the trip that she won to the amusement park that's down in where was that? I can't remember the name of it. We drove all the way down to, it was New York, New Jersey area. Because, and I mean, she was the whole time that we were riding rides and everything, she was dressed up with her sash and her crown on. And
by contract,
her on this experience that she won, because she got, was the winner. So I just have those kind of interesting memories with the Purdy family, and I got real close with Joanne, and it just was wonderful.
Yeah, so, Holly. Yeah, there was so you were there when you were head of the counter. So you were there from 80 to 84, but you were probably head of the counter like 83 and 84, like the last 2 years. Yeah, and I was in high school, as you said, you tutored me in biology. Cliff, I had no chance of ever being a doctor. I failed miserably at that. But Holly helped me pass the Regents at least. Those were like my early staff years, and I was not yet, living with the staff, and like I did with Tom, we were roommates at the Point Cabin in 86, 87, 88. But before that, I was living at home and eating in that back room, and you were head of the counter, and you would come back, to that room where, and like my mom was in charge of the counter, you were head of the counter, but you would always report something to her, like, this is going on. And I remember taking it all in, probably more than you would ever know, like about your responsibilities of managing these dozen girls that were heading out, dishing out the food that, Dallas and the guys and, Jim and Cliff were bringing out. And, it was a dynamic that I soaked in. So anyway.
Yeah, I'll tell you, my really special memory of that environment in the dining hall was that when I would arrive in the morning, I knew that your mom would always be down in where all the storage was, all the food stocked up and everything down there. And she had her little desk down there. And she was always having her morning prayer time. And I usually always caught her when she had her Bible open in front of her. And she got to know my footsteps coming down the steps. And so we would have these really sweet moments of just talking about the Lord, praying a little bit together, just sharing whatever for a few minutes. I didn't want to disrupt her or anything like that. It wasn't that kind of a thing, but it was just lovely. She was just very, very loving person, very encouraging, because she knew what everything upstairs was like, and so she always was very encouraging to me, So it's a very positive experience working there. I did also work at in the main office, like taking phone calls and checking people in. So it's making me think that there was either another year that we're not accounting for, or maybe I did both. Maybe I just did that in the evening. I can't remember what I did. It would have been a lot, but
a lot of work.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I do remember working the office one summer. So.
Yep, I'm sure you did.
I don't know if I was doing both at the same time or not.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So Jim, one of the things I wanted to ask you is, so Cliff, one of the things we talked about was the saw.
No, don't do it. We're going to go there.
Okay. You'll tee it up better than me, because Jim does not mention there. So later, I want to hear what he has to say about about that.
Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. Okay. So Jim, I don't think you've seen these before. We've interviewed Cliff. I don't know. Have you seen these, Jim? These interviews?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Let's not make it weird though. Don't ask me how many I've seen. Let's not make it weird.
No,
this is not a quiz. It's not
there's no. Well, we do have a teacher who could put grades on what we're doing here. We're not going to do that. But we have interviewed Cliff. One of the questions that I love to ask, and we'll get this from all three of you, but from Holly first. When you tell people about Camp of the Woods, what story do you like to repeat? What's your memory that you like to share with people?
Oh wow.
Cliff's memory has something to do with a saw. We already touched on that one. We'll get to that.
I have a lot of memories of chapel. Oh, and there's a man in my church who does the scripture readings a lot. Oh my gosh, he looks like Don, and he sounds like Don. It's crazy how much. Really, I wish I could show it to a recording or something. But anyway, that's a side thing. So that just came to my mind though, because every time that he's doing any of the scripture readings, I'm always so happy to hear him go up there, because it makes me think of Don.
That's awesome.
But there was something for me that was very special about chapel services, even though we all had our mornings when we didn't want to have to get ourselves there sometimes, But I felt very. I just remember, even at that age, I was thinking, I am so blessed and fortunate that I get to do this every morning. And the different people that came in and shared whatever they brought to the table. There was so many good ones through the years, and I just loved that. I felt like I remember feeling like I felt like I was a part of something very, very special, and that I should appreciate it, because it probably wouldn't be there forever. I wasn't going to live there forever, So I took that very seriously, for sure. The other things I loved is when the teepee was full of people after the music concert. I just loved that whole scene. Everybody was happy and laughing and, just talking and catching up. It was a great place to gather. And I had several really great roommates that mean a lot to me through the years. that I keep in touch with them, but we remained really close. You guys remember Kelly Hess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And Lois Stevenson. I always came up on preseason too, so I always
that's how you tutored me in biology. Thank you for coming up then.
I just love the mountains so much, and my family's home was in the Catskill Mountains, a little south. But when I got out of college during those years, I'd be home for like 3 days and say, I got to get up there. So that's when I started doing preseason too. So that's a memory and a half for me. Preseason was very unique and special because it was just us. It was just the crew that were working, and then the food would be. What was the chef's name? I can't think of his name.
Steve Miller.
Steve Miller. That's it. Yes.
Steve Miller band.
He cooked our
Bob Lang was up there too.
The course of the day, and we'd have hair, nets over our heads because of the stupid black flies.
Oh, they were horrible.
Yeah, there was one summer that Lois Stevenson and I painted every cabin along the point where the boat point. All the cabins, we painted all of them. And the black flies were brutal that year.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, those are some of my good stories.
Such a full experience you had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Including, again, tutoring the... we covered that. Yeah.
We covered that.
Yeah. If Cliff was there, he would... Yeah. I think, Cliff, you passed biology, right? You must have.
Oh, once or twice or 5 times. Yeah. Yeah. It's I think there was a movie in Doc Hollywood, and Woody Harrelson's character says, well, I could have been a doctor too. It was just the science part.
The pesky science part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. There's just so many. There's so many. That's the thing. There's so many things that I could keep rattling things off that made it so unique and special to me.
Yeah.
I just felt so blessed to spend literally almost 3 months, because I did preseason every year.
Yeah.
Like that, I get to be up in my mountains at Camp of the Woods for 3 months and just be able to live there. It was a gift. It was really a gift in my life. It always will be.
Yeah.
My dog is right here next to me. She's dying for me to pet her.
Nice.
My dog just came in here as well.
So Tom, you're texting me about something here that
Yeah, I'm trying to take care of that.
I think Tina needs to go out.
Are you seeing any evidence that maybe that is coming through?
I'm working on it. We'll see. Hopefully. Okay. All right. Holly, have you read? Did you know Don wrote a book?
Did I what?
Did you know that Don wrote a book
about
camp?
Yes, I read the whole section on the. He sent it to me.
Okay.
I read the whole section on the kitchen and everything.
Okay.
Working in there.
All right. Well,
I loved reading. It brought so many memories back. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Jim, have you read Don's book?
Yeah, and let's not make it weird. Yes.
Okay. It might get weird. We'll see. We'll see.
It's okay.
All right.
Thank you if you did, but no worries if you didn't.
Let's do some quick questions for all three of you. And Cliff, I think we had this, but you can repeat it. What is your favorite camp landmark or location? Start with Holly.
I'm sorry, I had a brief interruption on the sides. What am I answering?
Your favorite camp landmark or location?
Landmark or location?
It's a tough one.
It's weird what came to my mind first, but it's because we had such a good time together, I think. But there was a summer I was in Onondaga. What wasn't it called? Onondaga? Oni started with an O. It's
Onondaga?
Onondaga, that's it.
Yeah.
I was in that one 2 summers with Cindy Leidig. We roomed together, and then another year I was with her cousin. But I'm sorry, I'm flustering here a little bit.
It's only been 45 years.
Right?
Yeah,
I know,
right.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm standing here thinking.
Yeah.
Right up there, right near the big building was one cabin that would sleep 3 people. It had its own bathroom.
Oh, nice.
And I think that was my last year, or maybe my second to last year. I'm not sure, but I don't know. Somehow I scored that location, which was lovely. And I was with 2 friends that I adored, and we had the best time in that little cabin of ours. It was just delightful.
I love that.
And I could easily go back to that scene and just want to be with them and hang out and be silly the way that we were and just enjoy each other's company. You know?
Yep.
So
I love that. When we talked to Cliff, he had a couple of very different experiences. Like, he talked to us about living in Boys Park and having to get to the dining hall, and you had to wake up really early to make sure you got a hot shower.
Yes.
Right, Cliff?
That's the fact.
Yeah. And then if you didn't, that was tough, but then you eventually graduated to the fieldhouse cabins where that wasn't as much of a problem.
Yeah.
That's right. No heat and no air conditioning, but at least you had warm showers.
Yeah. Jim, where did you live? Where were your? You roomed with Jeff Johnson.
Let me tell you. So Jeff Callagwire, Rob Deckerman, and a bunch of other people. I started out and Jeff mentioned this. They nicknamed it Schmedley for some reason and painted it red. But that was my first experience. And then when I moved to commissary working with Mark, he was already in Caesar's Palace. So I think like halfway through my second summer, if I remember correctly, I don't remember the second cabin, but then I moved to Caesar's Palace, and Caesar's Palace was another one. It was the only guys accommodation that had its own bathroom and shower. And that was like the last one right before you would go down the hill to the dining hall. So it wasn't actually in Boys Park. So you could be in and enjoy some of the tomfoolery that was going on, but yet you were outside of it as well. So so that's where I spent the rest of my summers, was at Caesar's Palace. And then after Mark didn't come back, I know I roomed with a couple other guys. I mean, Carl Jubelhauer, I don't know if you remember him. He was like 7 feet tall.
Big tall dude.
Yeah. So but I've got a lot of fond memories with Caesar's Palace. And I think somebody mentioned it in one of that they threw a stone or something on our porch and crashed it. I forget who that was. Somebody mentioned that. I'm pretty sure I think that was Caesar's Palace.
We're throwing rocks again, guys.
Well, it wasn't. This was a boulder. This was not a rock. And for the record, I do not remember any throwing rocks or rock wars. Now, I do remember toilet paper. And I got pictures of that. There was a lot of toilet paper getting tossed up in Boys Park, but I don't remember the rocks.
Oh, too much. Hey, Jim, did you get your family's homestead on the lake? Or do you live on the lake? Did you really?
Yeah.
It's so beautiful over there.
Yeah. No, we love it.
Oh, I'm so happy for you for that. Wow.
Yeah, so we spend most of the summers on weekends going up there. And then Margie and I will usually drive up on like a Friday, and then we'll come back on Monday morning. And then in the winters, we go up like at least once or so a month. We were actually up there at Easter, and I'll let you guess who we had Easter dinner with at our place. It's already been mentioned here this evening. Paul and Cindy Hurtley.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're good friends of ours as well. Probably better friends after our summers together, but yeah, so we were up there over Easter, and Margie was playing at the North Country church that we go to, and Paul and Cindy were actually singing and accompanying with the worship. So then after that we had Easter dinner at our house. So
Oh, that's awesome. Earlier, before you guys came on, I was telling them that they've invited me to come up and stay with them at some point this summer. I hope I'm going to be able to do that. I really want to do that.
yeah, you definitely should.
Yeah. We have a wedding in the family, and one of our boys is getting married.
So do they. Their son is getting married this summer.
Yes, I heard that. Yeah, that's great. It's awesome. Too much.
Okay.
So you didn't ask, but you want to know where my favorite location is up at camp?
Yep.
It's the dining hall, the Hill Dining Hall.
Yeah.
Okay. We spent so many hours, and my entire camp career spent up there: dish room, commissary, busboy, and then I ended up being the dining hall supervisor at the end with Marilyn Thompson. And the number of hours that we spent up there, and the memories and the people that were associated with the Hill Dining Hall is just incredible. That's where most of my memories was up at the dining hall, working up there in different capacities.
Yeah. Cliff, there are pictures coming.
Oh, good.
You
maybe
you have such a wealth of, or a breadth of, a range of experiences there, from like behind the counter in the kitchen. There's a picture of you like outside on the other side of the counter where you were serving people, and you were just so adept, like built to do all of it, like working, serving, behind the counter, hold on, there's food coming and it's hot, and look out, come around the corner, and then you were out there serving food to people, and
the mashed potatoes.
Yes, the big bin of mashed potatoes.
Right.
Sunday lunch.
I started at Woodland's Dish my first year in '80, and then the next 2 years were the commissary years. So I got the whole Woodlands thing down pretty well. And then when I did the dining hall and the commissary, of course, you get that experience there. And then the music staff, the last couple of years, out of the 5 I was up there, that kind of rounded it off. So at least I got a pretty good chunk of camp covered.
Such an understatement. Yeah.
All right. Did we get Cliff's again?
It was the teepee, I think, is what I said last time, and I'll stick with it.
Okay.
The auditorium was fun when I was in the band and all that, and then of course the various workplaces, including the Hill. But the teepee, I think, was always winding down time or off time, so that was special.
You always had to end up there at some point in the night, right? You couldn't not end up there.
Yeah, I mean Dot sticky buns, we got them at the source, so we didn't have to go down to we didn't have to go all the way down to the teepee to get them usually, unless we wanted more than the 1 or 2 that was allotted to us. I don't remember, Jim. Do you remember the sticky buns and everything with Dot?
Do I remember that? Getting them hot out of the oven, not touched by any other human hand, right off the tray. No, I have no recollection of that at all.
Yeah, me either. How sticky they were and everything.
It never happened.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was like one of the only fringe benefits we got from working those long hours was that, and then we can go down to the freezer and help ourselves some ice cream.
Yeah, that's right.
That's amazing. Okay, so let's bring our last special guest in. You actually mentioned this person when Don and just the 3 of us were on the phone.
Really? Who did I miss though?
And then we're going to get into, we got a couple other things to get through tonight.
A lot of pictures. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
19 pictures.
I can't wait to see who this is.
Ed Shute, good to see you,
Hey,
buddy.
I made it. I made it.
Yes, we
Hey, Ed.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That is just crazy. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy to see you, Ed. The memories are so great.
Yeah, how are you, Holly?
I am well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Ed, I think you're somewhere in Pennsylvania near Philly. Where are you located?
Yeah, Levittown, PA, just north of the city in Bucks County, yeah.
Bucks County. Okay. Now that Ed is here, let's go back to, we're going to get this back here. Hang on.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
All right, Jim, good to see you.
Ed and I keep in touch.
Oh, you do?
that's good.
Right. All right, here we go. We have, before we get to pictures.
Holly, I did not prepare you for this.
Here we go.
I am thrilled that you didn't, because the surprises have been fun.
Okay.
Good.
So if you've watched these before, we sometimes do something we call story time with Tom. Tonight, this is story time with Don, and we've already kind of touched on this. So, Don, I'm going to ask you to read here out of your book.
All right. I will gladly do it. Still got a little bit of a reverb, but we could deal with it, right? All right. In the early 80s, after commissary workers Jim Brake, Cliff Thompson, and Mark Storms were shown the bandsaw used to cut up the chickens every week, Cliff and Mark came to Mom's office to express serious concerns. As Cliff had plans to become a surgeon and Mark was counting on a football scholarship, they didn't want any part of that saw. When this concern was relayed to Dad, he quickly decided to start buying pre-cut chickens. Problem solved.
Oh, that's great.
So, Jim, now that we have you on the call, I would love to hear your perspective on this saw. Oh, gosh, here it is.
Wow.
Awesome.
That is so good.
I love that job. And I really don't have a good recollection of that part of the story, because in my impression was that was like the primo job on commissary, because there was 3 of us that worked behind the counter, and one of us had every meal off. So only 2 guys worked for a shift. But on Friday, whoever cut the chickens had the entire rest of the day off, and the other 2 guys had to work all 3 meals. So whenever Mark was no way, because he was a pitcher, so he was like, no way, he would never do it. But Cliff and I did it. And then we would kind of rotate from week to week. I loved it. I love that part of the job. The chickens would all come boxed up. You'd have to take the giblets out of the center of each chicken, cut the tail off. With the bandsaw, cut the tail off, then quarter it down, have it right down the center, and then between the breast and the thigh on each side. So you'd end up with 4 pieces, and then you'd have to, repackage it, and then it would go up to Dot for Friday night chicken dinner. It was as fresh as it could possibly be. And then you had the rest of the day off, and you could start whatever time you wanted. Really? So you could start first early in the morning. The only really kind of tricky thing was cleaning that bandsaw. Like it was pretty messy. You had to take the cover off and the bandsaw, the blade off, and the chicken remains were all up around the bandsaw.
Yeah, but fat.
I was big into industrial arts in high school, so working with power tools and bandsaws was like no big deal. And I was like, I get the rest of the day off. Like, sign me up for Friday cutting chicken. But I remember Mark was deathly afraid of that bandsaw. But Cliff and I did it, right, Cliff?
Yep.
I don't remember that I don't remember the whole surgical thing. Like, I knew that was your path, but like, I don't think you were hesitant
No, I did it, and the I think it became after we had a, Mark really wanted nothing to do with it, right?
No, he would not do it, and I was cool with it.
I think he was asked about that, and then he and I went and talked with Joanne initially, and I think she passed the word up, and it was like that was the end of that. I mean, but we did a lot of chickens. I don't know how long before that transpired, but I remember cutting an awful lot of chickens before we started getting the ones that were already pre-cut.
Yeah, I really have no memory. I don't know. But you transitioned off of the commissary before I did, so I don't know. It was 45 years ago.
Yes.
Holly, did you ever wander down there and like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? That's like a dungeon of things.
Like a torture chamber.
We used to take the chickens and go and scare the counter girls with the chickens. She knows about the chickens.
Yes.
You guys really knew your way around a chicken, I'll tell you that. Definitely.
Oh my gosh.
Bird. But I do remember coming and watching a couple of times.
That'd be horrible.
I have a bandsaw out in my garage, and all I do is I have compressed air to clean it. There's no chicken guts in my bandsaw. That would be.
Hey, you haven't lived until you've cleaned chicken guts out of a bandsaw.
Jim, I can tell you this: that bandsaw will never see a chicken. It's just not going to happen.
Well, and like Jim said, the toughest cut was that tail, because you really you didn't have much to grab, and your fingers were pretty close to the bandsaw at that point. It's not like we were smart and got a pair of pliers or something. I mean, we used our fingers, and so that was always the cut that I really wanted to be careful about, because you really were, I mean, a chicken tail is not that long, right? So I mean, that's how close your fingers were to the saw blade.
No thanks.
We got good at it. And of course, the faster you finish, not that you tried to rush the job, but the faster you finished and the faster you cleaned all that fat off of the cover and the saw and everything, the sooner your day started, right, Jim?
Like Jim said, yeah, you were working your way up to a day off. Like, yeah, Ed, you saw both sides of this, right? You were part of that, but then you were. Yeah.
Not down by the saw, but being a busboy, I was on the other end after they already ate it. Bringing the dishes into the dish room and that kind of stuff, and that's that would be when Holly would probably be cleaning the iced tea and bug juice pitchers at the sink back there off the dish room, and there would usually be a ton of soap suds in that sink. And I can remember coming up behind her and grabbing the soap suds and then like putting them in her face. and then which you knew there was going to be retaliation. So the next time I came in with like a big stack of plates, she was with her rubber gloves, and then she had the soap to put them in my face,
Okay, guys, it's been 40 years. It's not
Holly. You wouldn't do that.
Not too late to apologize. I've learned that right now.
Yeah. No, it's
apologize.
Holly, what was it like working with these? I mean,
hooligans.
Yeah.
So much fun. Just half the time they really are what made it for me, because they just always had shenanigans. Always.
But they got the job done too. Like, right? When that second bell happened, they were, or the first bell, I'm sure. Yeah.
And if you were doing soap sud shenanigans, you always had to be on the lookout for Mr. Reed.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Oh man, he had that stoic way of walking in and doing business, but then he would always end up like turning, and for whatever reason he would do this with me. Maybe he was doing it with other people too, but he would turn all like acting mad because he didn't like something that the guys were doing, and he'd look at me and he'd give me a little smirk, and sometimes a little wink too.
Yeah.
So,
He knew
that was
you were in
just the way
control.
everything was up here. Oh man, such good memories.
Wow.
I love it.
So
Okay,
fun to think about it.
let's continue with some more memories here. We have some pictures that this section we like to call Blast from the Past.